Hi everybody, it's Win, and welcome to another video by the Entropy System. I'm just gonna kick off this video by making a bunch of people angry and say, I don't like the character the Joker. It's not because I don't think he's well written, it's not because I think he's not a good foil to Batman, it's not because I think the character is not open to nuance. A bunch of comic book writers have proved that all that is true. I don't like the Joker because of what society has made the Joker. The Joker is a mass murderer who sees no value in human life and thrives off of torturing innocents. Now, I'm all for liking well-written villains as a villain, but I'm gonna go ahead and saying that looking at the Joker as a role model is not such a great idea, and unfortunately, that's what he has become for a lot of people. The worst of it, in my opinion, is when he's paired with Harley Quinn. Again, I have no issue with the canon, but society has taken this psychotic abuser and his brainwashed victim and painted them as some sort of weird relationship goals, and that's pretty sick. All that being said, when I saw the trailer for Joker starring Joaquin Phoenix, my interest was piqued. It seemed like this origin story was going to be a raw, emotional character study of an unwell man. This could be a really cool and refreshing take on the character. Like, get your tail out of the camera. And I wasn't totally wrong. The movie was powerful in a few ways. It highlighted the cycle of untreated mental illness throughout generations. It showed the struggles of an unwell person seeking help and not being able to access it. My favorite part was that the Joker in this movie, named Arthur Fleck, was not some scheming evil genius, but was instead an emotionally and socially stunted man just seeking any kind of approval. When I first watched the movie, my favorite part was the ending. It was a bit awkward that Arthur was able to give a perfectly coherent speech after struggling to communicate the entire film, and I didn't miss the fact that his laughing tics seemed to completely vanish during that time. But aside from that, what I witnessed was a really powerful tragedy. The Joker kills a man on live TV. He's praised by the masses who think of him as some sort of social leader, when in reality he's just a sad man-child floundering with no plan and just responding to situations from moment to moment. The masses look to him as an inspiration, blinded by the ideals of what they want the Joker to be, rather than realizing that he is just a sad, broken individual. That's how I interpreted the film anyway. Apparently, the entire world saw a much different movie than I did. Now, we all bring personal bias to any story that we hear. We relate to characters and events in film in different ways based on our own experiences in our past. It was so unfathomable to me that anyone could see the Joker's coming into self as something to celebrate, that all I saw was a cautionary tale. When I started to read and watch other people's reviews of the movie, though, I realized I was sadly mistaken. It seemed that the majority of audiences liked seeing Arthur Fleck become a murderer. They saw it as the underdog taking back his personal power. In a country where mass shootings are so common that they've become passé, is that really behavior that we want to celebrate? At that point, I started reevaluating the movie outside the bounds of my own personal bias, and the more I looked back, the more problems I found. It's not subtle in the movie that Arthur Fleck has mental illness and tries to seek help, but is thwarted at just about every turn. However, when he's completely cut off from meds and mental health professionals, he appears to be healthier and happier than he was at any point before in the movie. He's more confident, he's more outgoing, his laughing tic even starts to decline. Is the movie trying to tell us that getting professional help for mental illness is counterproductive and that it's better to face these struggles on your own? In the second act, we find out that Arthur's mom, Penny, has spent time in a mental asylum for her delusional behavior. While Arthur is reading her medical files, he finds that one of the reasons she was locked up is because she failed to protect Arthur from her abusive boyfriend. So basically, the movie at that point is trying to tell us that an abuse victim is at fault for the abuse that they and their family incurred? She was sick and vulnerable, and a monster took advantage of that, and somehow that's her fault? Next, there's the trend in the type of people that Arthur kills. His first murders on the train perhaps have an argument for self-defense, except for the third one, but after that, his victims really only have one thing in common. The people were mean. Feel slighted by someone? Did they make jokes at your expense? Why not murder the heck out of them? Sounds like good problem solving to me. What I first saw as a cautionary tale, as a great story of tragedy, turned out to be a mess of poorly crafted and extremely dangerous messages being sent out to the public. Mental health care is bad. Victims are to be blamed for abuse. Killing people is okay if you've been the underdog your whole life. What a film. Again, I'm not gonna say that there weren't some really lovely moments. And Joaquin Phoenix's acting was fantastic. He was extremely believable as someone who legitimately struggles with mental illness. And he was able to take a mess of a script and turn it into a really wonderful performance. So I'll give it that at least. But the media is simultaneously spouting this as a great hero underdog story and a great representation of mental illness and the struggles that people have in society, and it can't be both. I'm not going to bash people for liking this film or tell them that it's wrong. I'm just going to ask that you please recognize the flaws in the thing that you like and acknowledge almost everything that this film has to say is twisted and straight up bad. I imagine this stirred up a lot of your own opinions, whether you agree with me or disagree. I'd love to hear your guys' discussion on these topics, so please share your thoughts in the comments below. Be nice about it though. The Entropical Fish are supposed to be a loving community. Lastly, I'd like to thank Elizabeth and all of our patrons for supporting our channel and helping us do what we do on a weekly basis. If you'd like to help support the channel by becoming a patron or by purchasing an Entropy System merch, links to all of that is in the description below. As always, remember that you are loved, you are valuable, and you are valid. Have a great day, everyone. Bye!